Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. From touchdowns on the Gridiron to slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
What's going on, y'all? What's good with you? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody has had time to collectively inhale, exhale, release, relax. On to the next one. Everybody gets a turn, y'all. Everybody gets a turn. Everybody gets a turn in this league. That was ugly. UGLY, you ain't got no alibi. That's ugly. Oh my God. Yeah, it was bound to happen. Everybody gets a turn. And you hear me say that a lot because the law of averages means that eventually it's going to catch up to you. Eventually, you're going to have a bad game. Eventually, you're going to throw a bunch of picks. Eventually, you're going to look like the worst of the worst. It's bound to happen to everybody. It happened to Jared Goff a couple weeks ago. It happened to Matthew Stafford last week. Everybody gets a turn. Here's the difference. The reaction is the difference. The feedback is the difference. Everybody else's perspective is the difference. There's always a silver lining. I'm of the personal belief, being a player, somebody who has coached, there are lessons in loss. Okay? There are lessons in loss. Now, after this last stretch, granted, we should be the smartest people in the world right now. But everybody goes through this type of stuff. What are you going to do on the other side? How will you respond? I'm looking squarely at Jalen Hurts. How will you respond? Because again, and this is the for the third week in a row. For the third week in a row, even though we lost that game, as bad as Jalen Hurts played with 4, that was like spades. He had 4 turnovers and a possible. And a possible fumble. You know what I mean? Things that had never happened before happened. Here's the funny part. Look at this. Look at this. Jalen Hurts had what? 4 picks yesterday. Do you know how many picks he has on the season? And we are going into week 13. Do you know how many interceptions he has on the season? 6. He only got 6 turnovers. 6 picks, I should say. I believe he's got 3 turnovers, 3 fumbles. I think 2 or 3. But so, and I'm saying all that to say, in spite of what happened yesterday, how it looked, the way Jalen played, the way he was missing receivers, all of that stuff, everything, you factor in all of those variables. At the end of the game, we still had a chance to win. Because you would think the way we are playing offensively, we should be getting blown out every week. Yet and still, We still have opportunities to win at the end of games. And eventually, that is going to break. This stuff is bound to happen. Everybody's bound to go through a bad spell. Everybody's bound to go through a really bad spell. It happens to everybody. But if you bounce down, you got to bounce back. There has to be, if it swings one way, the pendulum has to go back to the other side. That's the way it works. That's nature. So, for as bad as this swing is in the negative, it's got to swing back to the positive. It has to, because can it get worse? And that's how I got to look at it. Can this look any worse? I don't believe it can. I don't believe it can. We are 2 inches, and I mean it just like that. We are 2 inches away from having a totally different conversation today. If AJ Brown reaches out just an inch further, he catches that first ball for a touchdown, or at least gets us in the end zone and we come out with points. Now, mind you, 3 points is a difference between we win that game. We don't go into overtime. So that missed field goal killed us. But my point is, if A.J. Brown gets another inch towards that ball, maybe we catch it. Now, the one he caught late in the game and Jalen threw a perfect ball, it hit him in the hands. He's supposed to catch it. However, that there was 2 plays in that game where I got to give credit to the DB. I got to give credit to the cornerback from the Chargers. That was a great play. The dude grabbed his arm, pulled his arm down, which in turn caused him to bobble the ball, and he couldn't get a grip on it with his other hand. That was a phenomenal play because the ball was perfect. Sometimes he makes that play, sometimes he doesn't, but I got to give credit to the Chargers DB on that one. And the last play of the game when Jalen throws that pick, I got to give credit to that Chargers DB again for I don't know, contorting his body to get his hand up to tip that ball because Jahan Dotson was there. If Jalen throws that ball a half second earlier or with a little bit more zip on it, this is 4th and 1. Or I'm sorry, it's first and 10, 1st and goal on the 1 yard line. That's what it is. And then we push it for the win or whatever we do. So that last play, I don't fault Jalen for that play. I saw what he saw, and I thought the problem was Khalil Mack came in and he couldn't drive into that throw. He had a lot of throws like that. That pass across the middle. Now I'm working on a video and I'm gonna show y'all all of this stuff probably tomorrow or Thursday. I'm gonna show y'all all of this stuff. That pass to AJ Brown, the one that AJ Brown shortchanged it because it was high and it hit him in the hands and he should have caught it. When Jalen Hurts was throwing that ball, he could not follow through because of pressure. So he didn't get it. He was strong arming a lot of throws, which caused them to come out high. That's credit to the defense because they were putting pressure on him. He was trying to get the ball off. And you know what? We are the same fan base that was bitching last year and the year before that about Jalen Hurts taking off out of the pocket too quick. Now, when he sits in the pocket and he's taking a lot more sacks and there's no room for him to go anywhere because everybody's doing the mush rush, everybody knows the best way to keep him contained. We complaining about now. Now we want him to run more. That interception was an RPO, I believe. So, but again, Khalil Mack was in his face. Credit to Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack ain't no scrub. But again, we still had opportunities to win that game. And the pendulum's got to swing back the other way sooner or later. Hopefully, it swings back before we get to the playoffs. We're still going to make it to the playoffs. We ain't losing 2 games to damn Washington. Not going to happen. We're not losing to the Raiders. Geno Smith is not good right now. That's not happening. So, in spite of everything, in spite of the feedback, in spite of the vitriol that's coming, and I understand the reaction. I understand what Philly is feeling and what they doing. I get all of that. But eventually you got to take a breath and you got to take a step back and it's like, okay, shit happens. And I'm not going to forget, nor am I going to ignore what happened less than a year ago. Do I think he just all because I heard this today? Heard this today. I didn't listen to a lot of WIP, but I did hear this. Now everybody wants to compare him to Russell Wilson. So hold on now. Is he done? Is he, he got to the show, and I hate it because they talk about the Super Bowl yeah, he got it. Like he was lucky to get it. And that pisses me off because you want to everybody wishes they had the type of team that we had. We had the talent in the GM office with Howie Roseman and everybody else involved. We had the talent to put that type of team together, and it worked. Do you know how many teams try to piece together, get a veteran here, sign this player? You know how many times organizations have done that and it didn't work? So we are in the minority when it comes to that. And Howie Roseman is the best at it. I'm not going to forget that. Because at the end of the day, we can't win all the games, and it sucks. And it irks me to no end. It pisses me off to no end because this year the league is wide open. There is no dominant teams. No dominant teams. It ain't the Chargers. It damn sure ain't the Rams. It ain't the Vikings. Who else you want to throw in there? It ain't the Cowboys. It ain't us. It ain't Tampa Bay. Who else? It ain't Green Bay. What team is head and shoulders above everybody else? There is no team. This race is wide ass open, and we got just as good of shot to make it back to the Super Bowl as anybody else making it to it. It still lives for us because everybody else ain't that good. We losing these games, and if all of these teams are better than us, we're still as bad as we've been playing with the fumbles and the penalties and the turnovers. In every game, we still had opportunities to win. We ain't get blown out. The only game we got blown out was the freaking Giants. So it still exists. The Rams got a best shot, but guess what? I'm not scared of the Rams. To me, the Rams are not that good either. Matt Stafford has his issues just like everybody else. You shut down Puka Nakua, you figure out a way to do that, they got a problem. So the Rams got their own set of issues that they got to deal with. Everything ain't peaches and cream over there either. Everybody's got issues. Ours is just on Front Street, and we the low hanging fruit because we the defending champs, and don't nobody like Philadelphia and or Jalen Hurts anyways. Because everybody got to eat that crow because they still going back to you ain't gonna never win a Super Bowl with him. That's in the back of everybody's mind. That's why everybody hates Jalen Hurts so much, or at least hates on him, because they don't want that type of quarterback to win. They never wanted that type of quarterback to win. Can you imagine what would have happened if Brock Purdy actually would have won the Super Bowl? We did it. And you go back and you bring up all of those um, articles, all of those draft analysis, all of those draft grades, all of those prognosticators that just knew that Jalen Hurts, he's a good backup, but he's never going to he's not a franchise quarterback. And if he is a franchise quarterback, he'll never take your team to the Super Bowl. Go back and look at how many people use that word. Never. Here we are. Here we are. Twice. We got there twice. And both times he played the best in the business. He outplayed the best in the business. So don't tell me he just can't play quarterback and he just doesn't see it. What he going through his spell. He going through the same spell that everybody go through. Patrick Mahomes went through it. Jalen Hurts going through it. Josh Allen went through it. Lamar Jackson's going through it. You pick the best quarterbacks in the league, and I could go back and find you when they had their rough spot. But everybody ain't trying to throw them out with the bathwater. They ain't trying to do that. So after the initial shock of it, after you get over the anger of it and the disappointment and just, you pulling your hair out. I'm already bald, so I tell people this is the kind of shit that makes my hair grow. But after you get over the emotion of it, the Raiders are still coming. The Raiders don't give a damn about what you did with the Chargers last week. It don't matter because now we facing the Raiders, and we got 4 weeks to get it right. We ain't at the end of the rope yet. We ain't at the end of the rope yet. So, it's a reality check. My perspective is always different. Yes, I played with the Eagles. I played in the NFL, played in the World League, played in the CFL. I understand. My first year of playing organized ball, we did not win a game. So I understand losing. When you lose at the first level, you think that that's what's supposed to happen. So you understand it. It doesn't mean that you like losing. It just means that you're used to it and you know how to process it. And at least the way I took it and the way I grew up in it is that I understand how it feels to lose. I don't like that feeling. So what I got to do is do my best and figure out what do I have to do to not be in that situation again. That's what I got to do. That's what everybody has to do to a man. So get over it. And guess what? If we lose every game to the end of the year, shit happens and it sucks. And we're going to be mad and we're going to get over it. But we still got 4 more opportunities to solidify ourselves and bring it back and get something going into the playoffs. Because that's all that matters. I can give a damn where we sit. I don't care if we number 1 seed, 3rd seed, play one home way, one away. I don't care. As long as we get to the show. When you get to the show, anything can happen. Somebody can have look at it like this. Look at it like this. This was arguably Jalen Hurts' worst game as a pro. Let me say that again. This was arguably Jalen Hurts' worst game as a pro. And he still should have won the game. He still threw a couple of passes that were dimes. He still did that. Turned the ball over 4 times and still had an opportunity to win the game. The pendulum's got to swing the other way. It has to. We got 4 weeks to get it right. When y'all hear all of that stuff, because I can see through it, fandom gets caught in a lot of buzzwords a lot of time. I understand what they're trying to say, but I understand what it means, and I can streamline that process. And it's like, it's not that serious. It's not what you think it is. Everybody, we got to find our identity. The Eagles still don't have an identity. You know what identity means when you playing football? Identity means nothing more than the thing you do the best. That's it. We got to find our identity. And no, you don't. You know what your identity is. But we can't do it. We can't achieve that because our run blocking sucks. Our tight ends can't block. Our play calling is average at best. We know what our identity is. Our identity was tied to Saquon Barkley busting runs for 20, 30, 40 yards, just like he did the other day. That's the identity. Identity is nothing more than what you do best. When Jalen Hurts got A.J. Brown to get 5 consecutive 125 plus passing or receiving yard games in a row and broke the NFL record, that was the identity. Get the ball to A.J. Brown on the slant because you know he's going to break a tackle. That was our identity because that was what we were doing well. We make it complicated. They want to talk about on the radio and we don't know what our identity is. And like identity means something super complex. Like it's rocket science calculus or I don't know, but it's not that complicated. It's not that complicated. Identity simply means what your team does the best. That's all. Don't make it more than it actually is. Now, the one thing that you have to come to grips with as fans, you can love your quarterback and criticize him. That don't mean that you hate him. Tape don't lie. I love Jalen Hurts. I think he's the best quarterback for Philadelphia. Point, period, end of paragraph, full stop. However, it's not that he's playing like garbage. He is not seeing the field very well at all. I don't know what the reason is for that. I don't know which way he's going through his progressions. I know sometimes you get used to going one way. I know a lot of people talk about he's forcing the ball to A.J. Brown. No, he's not. Because again, we'll say he's forcing the ball to A.J. Brown. I'll say if A.J. Brown catches 2 of those passes that he dropped last night, we are not having this conversation. We're talking about 2 touchdowns. So the Chargers might not even have 20 points on the, they might be stuck at 9 or 13 or whatever it was. So again, 2 plays. 2 plays changed that whole game. 3 plays really, because you got to count the missed field goal. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried about what the Eagles are going to do. We're going to get what we get, regardless of what we hope for. All I can do realistically, knowing what I know and knowing how you go about your business day to day on a professional team. What are they going to do different? That's why all of that stuff that they talked about, they're doing some things different, and everybody was excited about the game plan. It's not the game plan, it's the execution. I don't give a damn how many meetings you went to. I don't care what plays you opened up. They opened up all them new plays in the playbook, but they still caught a dumbass screen on 3rd and long. Getting Devontae Smith getting his head blowed up. Throwing a wide receiver screen with 1 blocker and 3 DBs. He gonna get killed. That means he got to break 2 tackles. Come on now. Make it make sense. So, yeah, they did put a lot of stuff in there. I did see Jalen Hurts like slinging that ball across the middle. But we also missed the opportunities that we had. And nobody expected it to be on A.J. Brown. Nobody expected that. I'm trying to keep it 100. As bad as Jalen Hurts played, we still had a chance to win that game. We looking at Jalen Hurts totally different, minus those interceptions. The one interception, I mean, that's a chess. The Chargers defense won that chess battle. When that defensive tackle on our left side drops into coverage, goes to his left, and is in the middle of the zone, Jalen Hurts is not going to see him. That's the purpose of it. They won that chess. They won with that chess move right there. On that series, they won. They outsmarted us. Jalen Hurts thought he saw one thing at the snap of the ball, and then by the time he dropped back, big man is in the coverage, and he threw it right to him because Jalen didn't see him. You think you got a small window because AJ Brown has got a little bit of space, so you fire the ball to where he's going to be, and didn't count on that big man being there. Victory goes to the defense on that one. It bees like that sometimes. The other guys get paid too. So the only thing that still irks me, and this is me putting my running back hat on, because I'm a running back. So I look at this stuff extensively. I'm tired of Kevin Patullo trying to run Saquon Barkley up the middle. Why are we keep doing that? I went back and looked at it. I'm working on it now. I went back and looked at all of the runs, all of the long positive runs. Saquon bounced it outside the tackles. Every one. When he went up the middle, we got nothing. Why do we keep doing it? Why can't we scheme to get him outside? Not to mention, there was a couple of times where you could actually tell that the Chargers did their film study and they knew exactly what was coming. There was one time the DB came up to the line of scrimmage. Um, the tight end was supposed to get that block. He came so flat on the line of scrimmage and hit. He came so fast down the line of scrimmage, he hit Saquon Barkley just barely after he got the handoff from Jalen Hurts. He knew the play was coming. He knew the play was coming. He wasn't worried about play action pass. He wasn't worried about a fake, nothing. He knew exactly where the play was coming, and he broke it up before Saquon could even react. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. They might have counted it as a loss. I don't know. I think they did count it as a loss because his knees were a yard behind the line of scrimmage. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. We lose it in the trenches. Our offensive line is hot garbage right now. Pass blocking is adequate. Run blocking, piss poor. So those are things, in my opinion, Cam Jurgens needs to get out from center. They need to move Brett Toth in there because when Brett Toth played center, he looked better than Cam Jurgens. I don't know what Cam Jurgens' issue is, but he ain't looked like the same dude from last year. So if he hurt, let him be hurt. Get him off the field until he cannot be hurt because it ain't doing nothing but killing us. It's all well and good when we talk about these players. Landon Dickerson limped off the field and he came back and he's showing grit and guts and he's a tough player and all of that. Tough players getting their ass whooped on the line of scrimmage. That's the long and short of it. You can be tough, but if you can't be tough and win your battles, I don't want you to be tough. I want you to be on the sideline getting back to 100% because there are some players where they're 85, their 90% is better than other players 100%. But Landon Dickerson ain't that dude. Lane Johnson might be. Landon Dickerson is not. Cam Jurgens is not. If you nicked up and you can only give us 85%, that's not better than the opponent's 100%. It's not. They not them dudes. They not them dudes. I don't know what's wrong with this microphone. It's like inadvertently going mute. So I don't know what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying a couple different things, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to switch to an XLR feed because this digital USB-C thing is. I don't know if it's the cord. I'm gonna try. Might try a different cord to see if I get better results. So sorry about that. Appreciate you letting me know. Let me know though. Bilada equals hot dog water. Bilada has been the most consistent on the line of scrimmage, but even he has his issues. He'll be great until he isn't, and then you you get what you get. So that holding call on Bilada was nonsense, though. I hated that. I hated it. Took points off the board. That cost us the game. But yeah, it is what it is. So, but yeah, man, it's. I still got faith, man. We'll be all right. We will be all right. So let me see. Multiple tweets of people saying Eagles should draft O line early, and I agree. I don't disagree with that, but in my opinion, um, the Eagles need to find. Um, we need to find a good tight end. I was hoping we was gonna scoop up Fannin this year, but we need to find a good tight end because Dallas Goddard. Um, I don't know if this will be it for him, but we got to find a tight end that can block. I like Latu. Teach him how to catch. Let him go through the line with the receivers. Do something. Get this guy involved more. If he can't catch, teach him how to catch because I know he can block. He ain't afraid to bang. Uh, um, Calcaterra not working. He can't block. He can't block. So how it goes to Super Bowls past facts. So Howie Roseman, he got work to do because we got to fill some needs. Hopefully if the Chargers let Mekhi Becton go, hopefully Howie will pick him back up because they never should let him go in the first place. And I said this when they let him go. I said this. There are some people, for whatever reason, a change of environment makes a difference. For whatever reason, Mekhi Becton vibed with Jeff Stoutland. Jeff Stoutland's got a phenomenal track record, making good guys great. And for whatever reason, he the relationship between them two um worked. And Mekhi Becton was a 6'7" tackle that was playing guard and wrecking shop. We should have kept him. That was a mistake by Howie. Shouldn't have let him go. Should not have let him go. I didn't think it was the wrong idea to let Slay go. I would have kept Isaiah Rodgers, but Slay I understood. As much respect as I have for Slay, last year, the last 4 or 5 games, at the end of every game, that Joker was limping off the field. But I had love for Slay because for Slay to be able to run like that and run with top tier receivers at his age was phenomenal. I don't think Slay got enough credit or gets enough credit for being as fast as he is because he balled out. But at the end, it wasn't. And then when he got to Pittsburgh, his production went down. So I don't know. It would have been nice to see him come back, but I think we had better options that were already here. But that's water under the bridge now. He ain't coming now. Adoree Jackson had himself a game, Chris. He had himself a damn good game. He earned some money last night. So, but that's the best he's looked since he's been here. So Hopefully, he'll build onto that and continue to um, get better and establish himself as a mainstay. So again, we won't be talking about him. But he got a lot of confidence last night. Absolutely. I agree 100%. He balled out last night. Defense paying their half of the rent. They've been doing that. We just got to get the offense to pay on time. So uh and that challenge remains, man. That challenge remains. So yeah, they stole Cooper DeJean's interception, but that was, you know, jumped off sides. What are you gonna do? A Jomo, I think it was. But when we get our hands on the ball, man, we gotta take advantage of it. We just do. We just do. Um, we are closer than people think. We can go on a run. We already beat most of the good teams in the playoffs. I agree 100%, Cam. 100%. It only takes one play. One play turns into one series. One series turns into one quarter. One quarter turns into one half. One half turns into one game. One game turns into two in a row. Two in a row turns into a streak. Next thing you know, you got momentum going into the playoffs. That's all it takes. All it takes is for us to figure out what the hell is wrong with our run game. Or, or for Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni to figure out, get Saquon Barkley outside the damn tackles. Figure that part out. When we running the ball, keep Jalen under center and zone block the hell out of it. Saquon Barkley, let him pick where he wants to go. And you run it in practice and you figure out that he needs to go outside the tackles. Have him go straight up and bounce it outside and make sure you crash the end man on the line of scrimmage so he can get outside. Scheme it that way. Because that's what he's doing anyways. For the first time in a long time yesterday, and again, when I get this tape done, you'll see what I'm saying. When play action does what it's supposed to do, there was a couple of times last night, and it's no secret that is because Saquon Barkley was having the night he was having. Where we went play action, and you saw those linebackers take 2 steps up. That's it in a nutshell. When the linebackers come up, you got all of that space behind them, and they got to hustle back to recover. That's exactly what you need. It creates space, but it only works when you can run it the way it's supposed to be run. It is very hard to get good play action from gun formation. It's hard. A little bit easier from pistol. Remember my logic. When the quarterback reverses out or sticks that hand out with the ball, sticks that ball out there, see ball, get ball. Linebackers instinctually are going to attack. And all it takes is that 1 or 2 steps to clear that space. Remember, 1 step in game speed, real time, 1 step forward is 3 yards worth of space. Maybe more, depending on how fast the receiver is. But you saw last night what really good play action can do. Because Saquon Barkley was gutting them. They had to respect him. They had to respect him. It only takes 1 play. And then, of course, what do? He had 15 carries and 110 yards. And then most of the way through the third and fourth quarter, he got 5 carries in the second half or something like that. Again, crazy. Jalen Hurts should not throw the ball more than 30 times a game. He shouldn't. I brought this up last year and the year before. I brought this up in 23 and 24. When Jalen Hurts throws more than 25 times a game, sometimes we have problems. Sometimes we have problems. So keep them at a max of around 30. That works. That works. So, Jalen squatting 600 something pounds. Maybe he can block well. That ain't too far fetched. um, Seems like a lot more going on over there in Philly, and Hurts can't even find his damn helmet on the sidelines. Rod, you would be surprised at how often that happens. You would be surprised because what happened? What happened was, if you remember, he came on the sideline, and I think he had just thrown a pick, and then we got the ball right back. So, if I remember correctly, they showed him going to the sidelines, and he slammed his helmet down. Then he walked away and he was talking to people. I think he was on the tablet. And sometimes you just lose your spatial awareness of where you are on the bench. Did you go up to talk to the coach? Is the coach walking down with the play? The next thing you know, you 50, 60 feet from where you were. And then all of a sudden, there's a turnover. You got to go run and get your helmet. Like, oh shit, where am I? Where's my helmet at? And then you got 12 helmets that look exactly the same. So that happens more than people realize. But it was still funny. It was still funny. So, and another thing. And I'm saying this, and let me preface this by saying I like Troy Aikman as a announcer. I think he's one of the best. He's very even keel. He keeps it 100. He ain't got no problem ragging on the Cowboys or anybody else. I like Troy Aikman, right? But last night he was talking. It was clear he doesn't watch film on our games, or he hasn't. He's going off the production notes and all of this kind of stuff. Because Troy Aikman last night had the nerve and audacity to say that our offensive line had still been playing relatively well this year. I was like, no, the hell we haven't been. Like, what are you talking about? I said the same thing with Andrew Whitworth when he said that thing on the Kay Adams show. I'm like, what are y'all watching? The offensive line has been horrible this year. But that's when people that don't watch tape, not that Troy Aikman doesn't watch tape. They don't watch tape of all of our games. They watch highlights. They have a production crew that shovels stats and analytics in front of their faces. And that's what, because the truth of the matter is, and I've said this before, so that I can only give so much hate to a certain degree because the reality of their situation as broadcasters is they ain't got time to watch all these games. They ain't got time to sit down and watch tape of all the Eagles games and what they did last time and what they don't have time to do all of that. They got another game coming and they got to study for that game. So I understand the game. I understand how that works. And that's two veterans, a quarterback and an offensive lineman that know better. But I understand why they said what they said because they in the broadcast booth. They ain't watching tape. Andrew Whitworth had the nerve to say to Kay Adams, Saquon just needs to run with violence and speed and just get to the hole. And I was like, what? Like, what film are you watching? You ain't watching film, bro. You ain't. It's clear when you say dumb shit like that, coach speak type stuff. You ain't watching the games. You looking at your notes. He's only got 3 point something yards per carry or whatever it was, and then you just riff off of that. But clearly, you haven't watched any of our games. So, same thing with Troy Aikman last night. Clearly, you haven't really watched any of our games besides the ones you may have called. But for you to say our offensive line has been blocking relatively well, I'm like, nah, bro. No, not even close. You ain't even got to be watching tape to figure that out. But that's how narratives get started. That's how narratives get started. Because Troy Aikman said it in prime time on Monday Night Football. So it must be true, right? Nah, son. Nah. So, you got to be careful with that. You got to be able to read through the trees and, read between the lines, decipher it. You know, you got to look past what you see and do a little homework. That's why I try to tell people, man, I encourage anybody, man, find somebody on YouTube that watches tape. I told y'all many times before, my favorite people, Greg Cosell is a number one. Don't nobody watch more tape than Greg Cosell, period. Baldy is my next one. Baldy was a teammate when I was with the Eagles, good friend of mine. Um, Baldy watches a lot of tape. Find the people that watch the actual tape because it'll tell you a lot. And then you will really understand and realize how much the guys on the networks don't know, how much the guys at ESPN don't know. Acho sometimes bugs the hell out of me, but you know what? Acho be watching tape. So while his delivery can be annoying, he ain't wrong, or at least the tape don't lie. Let me say it like that. So is Darius Cooper getting old? I don't know if he's getting old, but he was blocking his ass off last night. I know that much. When Saquon scored that touchdown, he got sprung because of Darius Cooper. So yeah, everybody do. Everybody, Chris. Nobody's exempt, man. Nobody's exempt. We still live in an era where even with social media, everybody wants to be right or everybody wants to be first. I've even done that before. Yo, remember when I said that last year? Remember when I did that video last year and I said this was going to happen? Everybody wants to be first or they want to be right. I told you. I said it back in December that this was going to happen. I said it back at the beginning of the year that they were going to collapse like they did in 23. They just, somebody want to be right. Everybody want to say, I told you so. Remember I told you I did this? Sometimes I will put a video out and I will put mistakes in the video on purpose just so people can catch the mistake because there will be more people to watch the video and I'll get more comments about the mistake. Sometimes I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I put them in there on purpose because just to see who paying attention and ain't looking for mistakes. And sometimes I'll be like, "Yep, did that on purpose," but I put it in the comments. Yep, I knew it. This is what I meant. Or it'll be because I know one time I made a video and then I don't even remember what it was. Something happened after I posted the video. So it was like, yo, you know you were wrong. And yeah, I posted the video before that happened. So it's all good. Everybody want to tell you you're wrong. They want to point at you. It's like, I told you, you don't know what you're talking about. That sort of thing. So I don't know, man. I think we're gonna be in a situation. We'll be in the playoffs, man. But don't nobody want to play Philly. Let me be honest with you. Don't nobody want to play Philly because we are that close to getting it together. And let's be honest, we ain't even got to be a great offense. We just got to be good, consistently good. We ain't got to be great. Jalen Hurts ain't got to throw it all over the field. He ain't got to have another game like he did in New York when he threw for like what 360 or whatever it was. We don't need all of that. We just need to have a good offense that doesn't turn the ball over, and we can move the ball down the field and score points. That's what we need. We don't need great. We don't need 5,000 yards passing. I love bringing this up. I'm gonna continue to bring this up, and I'm gonna track this again when the Super Bowl comes back this year or in 2026. 45,000 yards. 45,000 yards was watching the game, watching the Super Bowl. 45,000 passing yards at home in Cancun, having the Super Bowl party, watching. That's why I don't. The long ball is overrated. I don't. That's why Jalen doesn't get the respect he deserves. Is because he doesn't throw the ball. You know, I don't think Jalen Hurts has had a 4,000 yard season yet. 22. Okay, I thought he had one, but that's whatever. 4,000, in my opinion, 4,000 is the threshold. 4,000 is the threshold. When you reach 4,000 yards, that means you're a pretty established passer. And then you get the people that's in 4,500, 5,000, and all that kind of stuff. So he would have had 4,000 if he didn't get hurt. He would have had 4,000 in 2023 if the bottom didn't fall out. So do you realize with 5 games left in 2023, Jalen Hurts he only needed to average like 200 yards a game, and he would have got 4,000. But we couldn't even do that. That's how bad things had gotten. But guess what? I that doesn't bother me because how many yards did Josh Allen throw for? How many yards did Lamar Jackson throw for? How many yards did Jared Goff throw for? How many yards did Matthew Stafford throw for? Insert quarterback. Insert quarterback that didn't go to the Super Bowl. How many yards did Patrick Mahomes throw for? So to me, it only matters what happens when you get there. And we still got an opportunity to get there. That's all I'm saying. What happens if we get to the playoffs and we start winning games again like we were winning in the beginning of the year? Ugly, but we winning. What happens if that happens? If the Rams and the Packers play, the Rams are going to kill the Packers. Packers are not that good. Jordan Love is not that good. Jordan Love, we exposed them. So, we'll see. That's why they play the game, man. That's why they play the game. But I still believe if we did it once, we can do it again. We've had glimpses of brilliance, and then it was good until it wasn't. And we got to figure out how to be consistently good. And I say it all the time. What happened to the days where everybody and their mother knew that we was going to hit AJ Brown on a slant and they couldn't stop it? Couldn't stop it. What happened to them days? So we got to go back to that, man. Just letting it rip. Jalen might have to run a little bit, but I'm not even worried about that. Jalen will run in the playoffs when he needs to run. Get us out of some situations. So we'll see what they're gonna do, man. We'll see what they're gonna do. I'm not as stressed as I thought I would be today. I know everybody was chiming in on the Hard Knocks last week, and I was like, Hard Knocks didn't show me anything new. I was like, meh. So all we got to do, nothing has changed. The recipe is still the same. When you get there, when we play the Raiders, handle your business. That's all you got to do. Handle your business. I'm sorry, Tyler Steen, Fred Johnson, y'all got to get it together. And y'all got to figure out a way to hold your blocks for longer than a half a second. I need y'all to do that. That's making all the difference in the world. And that, honestly, that's across the board. You know what? I take that back. I ain't going to just pick on Fred and Tyler Steen. That's across the board. Fred Johnson, Tyler Steen, Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickerson, Jordan Mailata, and especially them damn tight ends. Goddard, Calcaterra, y'all have got to do a better job blocking. I don't know what you got to do. I don't know if y'all need to put Latu back there full time. Whatever you got to do, teach that boy how to catch so we can leave him on the field because y'all blocking is hot garbage. Tape don't lie. And I don't understand what they telling y'all or what y'all talking about in meeting rooms because if I see it, I know y'all see it. If I see it, I know y'all see it. 4 weeks to get it together. 4 weeks. We can still make a run. There's no reason we can't go 4-0 these last 4 weeks. But it don't look good. Don't mean it can't happen though. So, all right, I'm about to get up out of here, man. We've been rocking for an hour and 6 minutes, man. So, uh, yeah, throw that one out, flush the toilet, and let's move on to the Raiders. Concentrate on what's ahead of you, not what's behind. But all right, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all. Everybody in the chat, you know how it is. I appreciate you. Love you. Y'all have a good one. I'm gonna see y'all on Wednesday. Me and Tone are going tomorrow at 7:30. We supposed to go tonight, but Tone um, got busy with work, so we couldn't do it. So we're gonna postpone until tomorrow. So stay tuned tomorrow, 7:30. Me and Tone, Bald Eagles, Bald Eagle. Use your words, Marcus. The Bald Eagles podcast will be going off tomorrow at 7:30, and then I will probably be back at 10:30 um, with the show. All right. Appreciate that, Tiff. Chris, appreciate you, bro. Eric, all good. Rip, don't flip it. Macbeth, appreciate you. Everybody in the chat, man. Q, Rod, 8672. I don't care if you're a Rams fan. Talk your talk, bro. Y'all got the dubs, so you can talk your talk. It's all good. Yam Yams, I appreciate you. Everybody in the chat, man. Good night tonight, man. Good night. Hopefully we have some good therapy and we'll get, we'll be good going against the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, y'all have a good night, man. I'm working on my new screensaver. So I'm out some new stuff probably by the end of the week. You know, I get into this stuff, man. I'm a nerd. What do you want from me? But all right, y'all be good. Y'all have a good night. I will holler at y'all later. Go Birds.
Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. From touchdowns on liquid air on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout. you.